related to our gravity. So now let's consider the velocities. What do you know about velocity? If we take the average velocity, what is the formula for average velocity?
Y
Distance over time. It's just the displacement over distance divided by time. So we're talking about the distance or displacement, of course, and also the time for that given part. Okay, in general, suppose an object moves along a straight line or in the equation of motion, given by s, which is defined as f of t, where your s here is the displacement, and that's just the direct distance of the object from the origin at time. Okay, the function f that describes the motion is called the position function from the object. Okay, in the time interval from t is equal to a to t is equal to a plus h, the change in position is given by this f of a plus h minus f of a. So as you can see now, this is given to you. So you have this given time get a and then a plus h, and the first one is f of value your function at a is equal to a and at t is equal to a plus h. So the average velocity over this time interval is given like this. So taking the average velocity, that is just displacement over time, or using the formula that is just f of a plus h minus f of a all over your h. So if you're going to illustrate that one using this graph here, of course, this is your a and a plus h, which corresponds to the time of that object, and then the corresponding point. Of course, if you have a, you have also a. And then if you have a plus h, you have also a plus h. And that will be your 2 points. And with that, by definition of slope, you can find the second line, your tangent line here, and then given 2 points. So that's why you have there this one MPQ, that is just f of a plus h is f of a all over h, which corresponds to the average velocity actually. Okay, now suppose we compute the average velocities over shorter and shorter time intervals of this given closed interval from a to a plus h. So in other words, we let your h approach 0, as in the example of the falling ball. So we define the velocity or the instantaneous velocity given by v of a and time t is equal to a to be this limit of the average of your velocity. And this is given by this formula that the v of a is equal to the limit of your f of a plus h minus f of a all over h as h approaches. So this means that your v of a or the instantaneous velocity is the same as the slope of the tangent line at t, right? So they're just the same. Okay, let's consider this example. Suppose that a ball is dropped from the upper observation deck of the CN Tower. So you have 450 meters above the ground. So what is the velocity of the ball after 5 seconds? And for letter B, how fast is the ball traveling when it hits the ground? Okay, first note, what is the velocity of the ball after 5 seconds? So we're going to use v of a is equal to the limit of your function f of a plus h minus f of h all over h as h approaches. So what do we need? First, we need to consider our displacement, the position function. So what will be our position function? So first, for letter A, we need to find the velocity both when t is equal to 5 and when the ball hits the ground. So it's efficient to start by finding the velocity at the general flight. So using the equation of motion, so we have s equal to f of t is equal to 4.9 t squared. Get that one. What is the formula for displacement? Velocity times t plus a t squared all over 2 now. But here, since assuming the velocity is 0, we have a t squared divided by 2. And acceleration, that is just 9 by 2. Divided by 2, that is just 4 by 2 times t squared. So initial of the motion. Well, in general, your formula for your S is d times t naught plus a t squared divided by 2. So of course here this is 0, guys. From the very 0. So with that here, your acceleration is graph is 9.2. Divided by 2, that's just 4 by 3. Displacement or position function. Or the directed distance. So with that, we have this function f of t, which is 4.9 squared. And then using that function, of course, we can solve for this one. So using the function, your f of t plus h by substitution, that is just 4.9 substituting your t by t plus h. You have t plus h, so coming squared minus, of course, your f of t is given by 4.9 squared. And divided by your h. And then you can simplify this one, right? So what? This is just what now? Sum of square. So this is just what? So this one here is t squared plus 2ph plus h squared. Of course, you can factor out 4.9 common for every term. So evidentially, factor out this. And then copy the first one here inside of your parameters. And divided by h. Okay, what's next? So you can combine like terms, right? Of course, this is right here can be added by the negative of itself. And this is just 0. So with that, the remaining term here is what it is. So you have 2th plus h squared now. Now, divided by h, so copy the limit, and then next is to factor out your h.
Yes.
And then cancel it out now. That's why you have this limit of 4.9 times t plus h. Now you can apply the limit loss for this one with the properties of limits. So with this is just so this one here is 0 now, this one is constant. 4.9 times 2.
Wow.
So the limit of constant is constant. The limit of h is just 0. So this is the value of our v of t. So now, we have given at t is equal to 5 now. So with that, our instantaneous velocity at v of 5 will be what? That is just 49 meters per second. And that's the desired value of this one. Okay? Now for the second question. How fast is the ball? So we are going to find so kailangan. So as of t is equal to 450. Diba? This is the height of the bar. So your S of t is given by 4.9 squared. So you can find out what will be the height. Find t from that one. So with that, this is just t squared is equal to 450 over 4.9, or taking this square root both sides, that will be 9.9. the corresponding comes to ball. And then hit the ground. So that will be the corresponding comes to ball. So that is our time T, no? So we're not yet done. So using that value to our V of A now, and that will give you this one, and this will be your answer. Final answer. Wow. Now 94 meters per second. Wow. Okay, any question for this one? So this is the application now when we talk about velocities.
Sir, ulit no? Bakit nawala ulit yung age, sir? Yung age, yung 4.98. Yung back, sir, back. Back. Isa to, sir. Isa to ka back. Yan. Yung 4.98 tapos all over 8. Bakit nawala yung dalawa ka 8, sir?
Cancel out.
Ay, cancel out na yan? Ah, okay. Never mind. Okay.
Understand? Do you part?
Hindi, sa taas, sir. Bakit daw nawala yung 8? Cancel out, diba?
So this one here is what? Limit of 9.8 times t no? As h approaches to 0 plus limit of h as h approaches to 0. Diba? I don't want.
Eh, di sa taas, sir.
Come on. This one?
Yeah.
Common lang sa h sa numerical namin kasi that is there's one somehow. So this is just one no? It's enough. So we have now this definition of derivative. Yay! I love it. So as you can see for the previous slides, we deal with the tangent of the we deal with the slope of the tangent line now, and then the velocity. And they have this given form, right? The limit of it as a plus h plus f divided by your h. So with that is just the derivative over function. And the number a divided by f prime of a, and this is given by that formula. F prime of a is equal to the limit of f of a plus h minus f of a divided by h as h approaches to 0. If this limit exists. So that's why if a null function is rational function, so mas challenging siya na to solve for the limit, for the limits niya as the derivative. Kung paano siya, kung polynomial lang dito. So mas interesting if
I love it interesting.
in brief. Another form for this one is like this now. F prime of a is equal to the limit of f of x minus f of a divided by x minus a as but this one can be translated into this one. So they're just similar formulas. Okay, let's consider an example for this given. This initial. Okay, find the derivative of the function f of x is equal to x squared minus 8x plus 9 at the number 8. Okay, by definition of your derivative, this is just f prime of a is equal to the limit of f of a plus h minus f of a divided by h as your h approaches to 0. Right? Now we need to use the given function. So we need to substitute a plus h now by this one. So with that, you have a plus h quantity squared minus 8 times a plus h plus 9, the constant term here. No? Then minus f of a is just that one, a squared minus 8 divided by h. Next, simplify. Okay, first, what is the sum of this one? Sum of the squares, and then by distributive property, and then distribute negative 1 here to this quantity, and then combine like terms. Okay, next, that will be this one of a plus h quantity squared plus a squared plus 2ah plus h squared. Then distribute negative a to this terms here, so that is you have negative 8a minus 8h plus copy the constant 9, and then distribute negative to this given terms, so negative a squared plus 8h minus 1. And then you can add divided by h, so you can now add like terms. So this one and this one, that is just 0, no? And this one also, and this one is 0. This one and this one is 0. So the remaining terms are 2ah plus h squared minus 8h factor h. Now, you can now factor your h. Kaya common na siya for every term sa inyong So with that one, you can cancel it out now. So you will now have this 2a plus h minus 8, and using the minus, you have x minus 8. And that will be the 7 equation. So in general, this is just the same as 2x minus 8. H just x. Sorry, because in particular, can we define the tangent line to the curve of this given function at the point P of A and f of A to be the line that passes through point P and has slope f given by equation 1 by 2. So since by definition 4, this is the same as the derivative f prime of A, so we can now say the following. That the tangent line y slope f of x at this given point here is the line through A and f of A whose slope is equal to f prime of A, which is the derivative of f at A. So this is the final relationship between slope and derivative. Same for the velocity of this. So if we use the point slope form of the equation of a line, we can write an equation for tangent line to the curve y slope f of x at this given point by using this formula. So your m, replace this one by f prime of a because they are just the same, right? Okay, now let's proceed to rates of change. So this is the rate of change. So the delta x delta y. Okay, suppose y is the quantity that depends on another quantity x. Thus y is a function of x, and we write it as the function. You should divide out the notation for a function. F of x, that is just your y. If x changes from x1 to x2, then the change in x, also called the increment of x, is given by this one. The delta x is equal to x subtotal is x equal or the increment of this x value. And the corresponding change in y is given by this one. The delta y is just f of x sub 2 minus f of x sub 1. So with this, we have now the difference quotient. So applying the slope now, this is just the increment of y divided by the increment of x. And this is just equal to f of x sub 2 minus f of x sub 1 divided by x sub 2 minus x. So this is the average rate of change of your y with respect to x. So by analogy with velocity, of course, the zero is not formula now. So that's why your instantaneous rate of change when you take the limit of the delta y over the delta x as the delta x approaches to 0 is just the same as this one. Taking the limit of your f of x sub 2 minus f of x sub 1 divided by x sub 2 minus x sub 1 as your x sub 2 approaches to that x. And this is just the same as your derivative of your function. Right? So by that one we have the second interpretation that derivative of f prime of a is the instantaneous rate of change of your function y with respect to x. So let's take a look at it. Okay, this means that when the derivative is large, and therefore the curve is steep, at the point P will be your line. So the y values change rapidly. So as you can see now, this is your tangent, diba? And tangent that refers to your derivative of your function. Now when we talk about the speed of the particle, so the unit of the speed of the particle is given by this, the absolute value of your derivative. So absolute value of f prime of it, that is the speed of the particle. So we have here another example, no? Application problem. A manufacturer produces bolts of a fabric with a fixed width. The cost of producing X yards of this fabric is given by this equation. C is equal to f of x dollars. Okay, these are the questions. What is the meaning of that derivative f prime of x? What are its units? In practical terms, what does it mean to say that f prime of 1000 is equal to 9? And C, which do you think is greater? F prime of 50 or f prime of 500? What about f prime 5000? Okay, the derivative f prime of x is the instantaneous rate of change of c with respect to x. That is, f prime of x means the rate of change of the production cost with respect to the number of yards produced. So because we have this formula, diba? F prime of x, that is just the union of the delta of c, the rate of change in the cost production, divided by the rate of change in the number of yards. And that is just your delta x upon 2. So the units for f prime of x are the same as it is for the difference solution of this one. Since the delta of your c is measured in dollars and the delta of x in yards, it follows that the units for f prime of x is dollars per yard now. So that is for letter A. Okay, for letter B, so to given a problem, in practical terms, what does it mean to say that f prime 1000 is equal to 2? So it means that after 1000 yards of fabric, values of that corresponding fabric, and then the corresponding cost is increasing since past frequency 9. Right? So when x is equal to 1000, c is increasing 9 times as fast as your x. Okay, since delta x is equal to 1, is small compared to x is equal to 1000, you could use the approximation that this one is just the delta of this. And say that the cost of manufacturing the 1000 yard is about 9 dollars. Okay, for letter C, of course, if we complete that one now, so based on that one, the f prime of 50 is always bigger than the f prime of 500. So that's all for the application of derivative. Sometimes people do some better. But small part the motion of the yard creation is that
What if f prime 5000 is price? Is the
for example, it's
the larger the image, it's like that.
of limits, wala na siya one-sided. So for this one, of course, the derivative of the function also, possible siya, hindi siya ma-exist. Right? So what if we will go inside the limits? Meaning, it is not differentiable at that given number. So we also to verify if it is differentiable at that given number. Okay, again, by definition of the derivative function is given by this one or this one. It's similar to that one. Okay, let's have this example. The derivative function f is given in this figure here. Use it to sketch the graph of the derivative of your function f prime. Okay, what do you know about derivative of functions? Signs of the rate of change. The first is just the slope of the function. So if your n is 0, of course, horizontal line is here because that means your n is equal to 0. Here also is 0. 0 here. So with that, you want the interpretation for the derivative of the function. Yes, you know? And this one, of course, you know that n is equal to 0. And then this one is also n is equal to 0. So with that, this will be the corresponding derivative of this given function. This is just the derivative. Right? That's the one and that's your derivative, diba? So when you plot that one, that will be the resulting derivative of your function. Ayan that. Okay, for instance, for x is equal to 5. So you can see now, ano siya here? So your m here is approximately halves. So with that one, that is just you have to provide this 1.9. So you can now graph that one points to the function. At 5, then your value. So klaro na rin na that is 0.5 your x and then your slope is 0. That's why you can plug that one here. And then here also, no, at this point here, your second point is 0 also. And this one also, 0, and then at this value here, something siya, 3, no? 3, 0. So you have this. And last thing you have this one. You got connected, that's the form of the graph of your derivative of the function. Okay, this allows us to plot the point, this one, no, on the graph of f prime, directly beneath your. So repeating this procedure at several points, we get a graph shown in this figure. So we can consign na siya to interpret using the definition of the slope because they are just what? Exactly the same. Diba? The derivative of your function that is just the same as the slope of the tangent line at that point. Right? That's why we do the slope ang quantity niya, no? Other applications of derivatives, okay, they're just related.
Ano ganyan na lesson, sir?
Previous.
Derivatives, pardon.
Derivatives yan na siya.
Or iba na yun, PPT, sir.
Kaya iba na. So, pwede naman na siya conclusion.
Graphing, graphing.
Using the one now, if you have that graph, so what will be the corresponding graph of your function for this given example? So with that, you have these points for your f prime of x. Okay, let's now consider with this given function. If you have square root of x. So if you take the derivative of your function, so you have this one, f prime of x is just 1/2 times the square of x. And it's very large, and this corresponds to the steep tangent line, near 0, 0. So this is your function f of x. Okay, yung gagawin no? Because kung mga negative number, undefined pa rin yung function. That's why at 0, ano hindi niya pandulog yung graph? Because it's not defined for negative numbers. Parang hindi siya defined? Because imaginary naman siya. Take note, our concentration here is a real number. Okay? That's why we're considering complex numbers, so it's undefined for now. Next, if we have this, your function, of course, this would be the graph of the derivative of your function. So because it's set pa now, you have values sa derivative niya. So of course, if you insert points, you can plot that. Okay, when x is large, f prime of x is very small, and this corresponds to the flatter tangent lines at the far right of the graph of f and horizontal asymptote of the graph of f prime. So she gets it over flat edge. So we have the other notations for derivative. So you can use this following notations now that indicates, or you can interpret that one by doing the derivatives of that function. So you can use f prime of x, y prime, or dy over dx, or the derivative of f with respect to x now, and then d over dx of f of x, or d of f of x, or dx of f of x. So either of these notations that signifies that we are doing the derivative, taking the derivative of your function. Okay, kasi matagalan mo nga, dili lang nila na itong gigamit. So there are other options no, for the notations of derivatives. Okay, take note of these notations. So in this notation, we have this given form, and dy over dx. And this is just the limit of the delta y over delta x as the delta x approaches. So we have now this definition now. When can you say that your function is differentiable at that given number? So we have this definition. So a function f is differentiable at a if your f prime of a is. It is differentiable on an open interval of this given form, the closed interval from a b, or the interval from a to positive infinity, or the negative infinity to a, or the negative infinity to positive infinity, if it is differentiable at every number in that given interval. So where's the function f of x as it is equal to this absolute value x differentiable? So it's always a differentiable. So it's differentiable for all values under x except. But do you think asa man siya differentiable? Okay, what is the definition of absolute value? So if it is positive, so x, no? If it's negative, the negative of your x. So using our definition of derivative, this is just, for example, we are taking the x is positive. So for that one, the absolute value of x plus h is just x plus h. Okay, always positive mention. If your x is greater than 0. So with that one, this is just, that one here is just x plus h. And of course, the absolute value of your x, that is just your x. Divided by h. And with that, you can add x and negative x. That is just 0, right? So with that, you will have this one, and that is just 1. This one is always positive when your x is bigger than 0. Diba? So we need to use this one. So that is the first the other side. How about when your x is negative? So this is the limit or the derivative of your function sa right side. How about sa left side? So for x is less than 0, we have this one now. The absolute value of your x must be negative x. Okay, negative times negative is positive. Okay, and h can be chosen small enough that x plus h is less than 0, so meaning the negative of your x plus h in the middle, since your x is now less than 0. So again, using the formula for the derivative of function, which is given by this, f prime of x is equal to the limit of the absolute value of x plus h minus the absolute value of x all over h as your h approaches to 0, and by substitution for this corresponding value of the absolute values, so this will be equal to this now. And then distribute negative signs for each terms here, and this will be the corresponding simplification of this one. Combine items, that is just negative x plus x is 0. And then the negative of h all over h. So you will get negative 1. So the derivative of your function at x less than 0 is negative 1. So this is my point side though. That's why you can say that f is differentiable for any numbers except x is equal to 0. So not differentiable siya ng 0. Hindi mo nang plan yun ang limit. What's the limit of 0? So the left and right is 1 and negative 1. So the limit of your function actually does not exist.
Wow.
So with this, thus your f is differentiable at all x except at 0. Same na rin yung mga pag-except function. Except at it has a different one. So as you can see, a formula for f prime is given by this. 1 or negative 1 of 1 yung formula. So with that, you have this piecewise function, and this is given by this. So you can see it is differentiable for any numbers here except at 0. Kaya what you have? 1 and negative 1. So if we're going to graph your function h of x, kasi gagawin niya. But ang graph sa function h of x ay that's value of x. Wala na siya ng gabi. So you have this one now, yung one. The graph of your function, that's value of x. So we have this theorem. Okay, both continuity and differentiability are desirable properties of the function we have. So the following theorem shows how these properties are related. Okay, your f is differentiable at a. If that's the case, then you know that your f is continuous at a. Kung na-verify natin that differentiable siya kay no, so automatic continuous siya. But the converse of this theorem is false. So meaning, f is continuous at a implies f is differentiable at a. So it is not necessarily true that f is differentiable at a. So you did the converse because you can find a counterexample for that one. The functions that are continuous but not necessarily differentiable. Okay, how can a function be differentiable? when can we say that it is not cannot? You can differentiate that one. First, you have the corner or key. So as you can see, this one, no? This one key here, that means it is not differentiable. Okay, here for it is another way for a function that you have different derivative. It says that if f is not continuous at a, then f is not differentiable at a. So meaning, you can verify that if it is not continuous. So naman ito verify sa hindi siya continuous. So we need to verify the three conditions. Kung either way itong three conditions ang so not continuous siya. So meaning it follows that it is not differentiable at that three. So that is the contrappositive. The contrappositive of your final here for so tinutulog na siya. So if it is false, then the corresponding condition is also false. So at A discontinuity, for instance, a chunk discontinuity f fails to be differentiable. So chunk meaning, diba di siya continuous o not continuous. So na siya yung chunk. Right? Naisipik ba? Hollow. That means it follows that it is not differentiable at that point. Okay, third possibility is that the curve has a vertical tangent. Vertical tangent line when your x is equal to a. That is f is continuous at a and the limit of the function has from that direction. So as you can see now, this will be the corresponding. You have the vertical tangent line here, or the other way. Okay? So meaning, your function for that given number is not differentiable. So your figure 7 here is with the three possibilities that we have discussed. So as you can see, I came here now, so meaning it forms. Wow. That differentiable na siya here, guys. And of course here, there's a jump. Diba sa meaning this is not continuous. Kanang continuous because different yung limit. So if follows that, then it is not differentiable. And then of course here, no, there is what? The vertical tangent line.
Are you sure?
So this is the higher derivatives now. So let's find out what will be the corresponding properties for derivatives. So using the definition of derivatives now with in relation to limits, how to siya to solve, right? Okay, mag-ibang definition sa limit. Mag-limit loss maka. But there is a shortcut for that one. So we need to consider the properties for derivatives. The derivative of constant is constant. That constant is 0. Anong derivative sa constant is 0?
Kasi,
Kung i-graph din yung function, di ba? Horizontal. That means the slope of that one is 0. And your slope is your derivative. That's why the constant is 0.
wow.
So now, at this point, we need to consider differentiation formulas. Para mas tayo na itong life, no? So first, sa yung quiz and an exam, we need to consider the definition of derivative. And take note, challenging ang problem. So expect na delete mo lang yan. So, property rational, no? Kaya mas sinat man natay fraction. Deal with para challenging the things of the four. Ha? Wala. Individual. Napag-apply tayo sa class. Okay, first, if you consider the constant function. Okay, the constant function is given by this now. F of x is equal to c. So with that, when you illustrate that one, of course, on that y, horizontal line na gina siya, no? And take note, the slope for this one is 0. That's why the derivative of that function is equal to 0. And of course, we can always prove that one using the definition of derivatives. So you have f prime of x is equal to the limit of f of x plus h minus f of x. And this one here, constant naman siya, no? So wala naman siya variable. So as is your c. And this one is by definition of function, it's just c. Divided by h, so 0 na siya. That's why it's c. So now, in this notation, we have this first property for the derivative of function. The derivative of a constant function is 0. Okay, next. When your function is a linear function, so meaning, nasa exponent naman. So let's say you have that linear function, linear f of x is just equal to x. Or it's just y is equal to x. So for that one, of course, what is the slope for this one? It's just 1. So with that one, the derivative of x is just 1. You can also solve that one by using the definition of derivative to verify that it is indeed 1. Okay? So that is just for your one exponent of 1. But if 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. So this will be the corresponding for this quadratic of x squared. That is just 2x. And then for x cubed, that is just 3x cubed. That's the question.
Do we also have to like write that down every time we do this? By power rule.
No need, mas long as sakto yung
That's a least.
good man dito po dito. Ito lang sa limits ng width kailangan. Limit up until continuity, di ba?
Ay, yes.
So for n is equal to 4, of course we must solve for that one using the definition of limits. That's why it's asked for x. But you will have, you can write this one. So in general, the power rule of the given function, so let's say your n is a constant integer, then the derivative of x to the n is just n times x raised to n minus 1. So muhobi siya now for every exponent here in n sa inyong variable x. So take note of this formula. Okay, how about this one? Just give an example. If your given function here is x raised to 6, what is your f prime x? Kaya then by definition of sa inyong power rule, it is just x raised to n and minus 1. The derivative of this one, that is just 1. N times x raised to n minus 1. So first, your exponent here is 6, no? So 6 times raised to the difference. 6 minus 1, that is just 5. Wow! How about this one? Y is equal to x raised to 1,000. So this is just, your y prime is 1,000 times x raised to 999. So as simple as that, when you apply the power rule. How about this one? If you have y is equal to t to the 4th, so take the derivative for that one, you have the dy by dt, that is just 4 times t raised to 3, no? 4 minus 1, that is 3. So as you can see, we have a lot of notations for derivatives. You can use this one, this one, this one, and the other.
You will use all things. Marami po yung
Something yung kung sa'yo gusto niyo yung gagawin ko. Naan ka question sa exam. You use only stick to one or stick to other. As long as kabalo mo that this notation is for derivatives.
It's like an RXR or square.
How about this one? Take the derivative of r cubed with respect to r. So this is just the r squared using the power rule. So next, we have also the constant multiple rules here. Diba sa Newton's law, nabot tayo sa constant multiple law. So same for the derivative of your function. We can disregard your constant because it's not dependent on your derivative. So the derivative of the product of your constant, the level constant is just taking the product of your C and the derivative of your last name. So for that one, we have this given example. Suppose you are to take the derivative of 3x to the 4. So as you can see, diba, if you take constant multiple on siya, ang x to the 4, so pwede na siya mapagawa sa inyong derivative. So let's consider your x to the 4. So it's the derivative of your x to the 4. By power rule, that is just what? 3 times 4, x raised to 3, no? So this is 3 times 4 times x raised to 4 minus 1 now. Then this is 12 times x.
So we can use the other rule to choose.
How about this one? Take the derivative of negative x. That is just the negative 1 times x. So we can. So this is negative 1 times 1 times x raised to 1 minus 1. So this is negative 1 times 1 times 1. Is equal to negative 1. So any number raised to 0, as long as that number is not equal to 0, is always 1. Ano man?
Kasi
How can we prove that one?
dapat x squared.
That a raised to 0 is equal to 1.
Real number ba?
Diba familiar with money ang result, no? That any number being raised to 0, but that number is not equal to 0, is just 1. How can you prove this?
Go. Use ChatGPT.
How can we prove this one? The additional result. So let's say this A here is a real number stuff. Then we will start working at the left hand side. So our goal is dapat the left hand side is equal to our right hand side. Dapat equal to 1. Okay, to the 0. When can we get the exponent is 0?
It would be ano, 0 siya.
1 times 8.
It would be 8 divided by 8.
No, divide kasi by 0. 1 na po na. A divided by 0 is 1.
Diba? A squared. A squared by 8 times 8.
So this one you can get 0 if you are subtracting the same number of exponents. Kung yan exponent natin kayo, paano yung sila yung subtract? 0, di ba? 1 minus 1, 0. 2 minus 2, 0. 3 minus 3, 0. 4 minus 4, 0. 5 minus 4, 5 minus 5, 0. As long as parehas ang number na din, divide 6 subtract. That is always 0. Right? So this is just the same as a raised to 1 minus 1.
Sure ka tama.
Ay, oo.
And this is just what? A raised to 1 plus the negative 1, no? And this is just the product rule for your algebra. This is just the A raised to 1 times A raised to negative 1. And the negative is 1, and that is just 1 over negative is 1 and A raised to negative n, that is just 1 over A raised to 1, right? So here this is just 8 times 1 over 8. Right, take those. Since you have fraction, you have this restriction. Provided A is not equal to 0, right? For definition of fraction. Then this is just A over A now, and then you can cut it out since A is equal to 0. So for this one, the negative one ang siya answer. So next we have the sum rule. So taking the sum of the function. So taking the derivative of the sum of the function, this is just the same as taking the sum of its derivative. So this is the sum rule now. Next we have the difference rule. For difference rule, of course, same notation. Taking the derivative of the difference of the two functions is just the same as the difference of the difference of the derivative of the two given functions. So let's consider this given example here. So we have to take the derivative of x raised to 8 plus 12x to the 5th minus 4x to the 4th plus 10x cubed minus 6x plus 5. Okay, first, we use sum rule and the difference rule, no? Para makakuha the same derivative for each terms. So with that, we have d over dx of x raised to 8 plus 10 constant multiple since 12 is constant here. So that will be the variable. So you can apply directly the constant multiple. Yeah, step by step. Although we're not indicate ang properties or rules, but as long as step by step solution. Next for this one is just a negative 4 times the derivative of this now. So what we siya? Sum rule and the difference rule as well as the constant multiple rule. And then you need to use the power rule that I know. So power rule that I for this one. And the derivative of constant. So this one is x to the 7 plus 12 times 5x to the 4th minus 4 times 4x cubed plus 10 times 3x squared minus 6 times 1 and this one is 0. Constant. And then simplify further. You can multiply this two. So with that, this will be your answer. So with this properties here, master na siya to solve for the derivative function. Compare using the definition. Kung definition mo, taas-taas siya. But sa yung quiz or sa exam, particular man siya. So there's a problem that you need to use the definition of the derivative. And there are problems na you can apply the properties. So that is for the one, no? The sum rule or the sum rule, difference rule. Now how about the product rule? Oh my God. See? There's something wrong. Next, we need the formula for the derivative of our product. Okay, by analogy, the sum and the difference rules. guess as the least the procedures about that. What? The derivative of a product is just the product of the derivative. So for this one now, ito na siya actually called. So in taking the derivative of functions, hindi siya mo equal to that one. Ano hindi siya mo equal? Let's consider a particular example. Okay, suppose this is your functions. Your f of x is x and your g of x is x squared. Okay, by this notion, so may ito pa now? Complete. So if you take the product of your f prime of x, that is just 1. Take it the derivative of your g of x, that is just 2x now. So when we multiply that 1, so then 1, it's just 2x now. But how about this one? If we take the derivative of this one, this 3x. So same as this. So that's why the notion is wrong. So meaning your f g prime is just equal to f prime g. But this is the correct formula for that one. Okay, for the product rule, if f and g are both differentiable, then the derivative of the product of f and g is just consider first that taking the derivative of your g of x. So as is the f of x. So f of x times the derivative of your second function plus, since you are not taking the derivative of your second function, so as is the second function and taking the derivative of your first function. So nanayan ba no? Ang process or the method for the product, derivative of the product is how to do this. So, kapitan nyo naman siya as long as consider nyo from every function. So, take the derivative of the function as is ang wala nyo i-consider yung function. Okay, let's have an example for that one. So, if you have the student function 6x cubed times 7x to the 4th. So what is this one? So this is 6x cubed times the derivative of your 7x to the 4th plus 7x to the 4th. Take the derivative of 6x cubed. So this is 6x cubed. And then this is the same as 7 times dx of x to the 4th plus 7x to the 4th times 6 times dx of x cubed. So this is 6x cubed. This one is 7 times 4x cubed. Okay, 4 minus 4, that is just plus that is 7x to the 4th times 6 times 3x raised to 3 minus 1, that is just 1. So simplify further, this is 6x cubed times 28x cubed plus 7x to the 4th times 18x squared. So this is, what is this one?
168 multiplied by x to the power of the 168
now. X to the 6.
126.
Plus, this one here is 126 x raised to 6 na. So this is what? You have 13 kilowatts, so 294. So x raised to 6. X. This This is x variable now with this with that is one. Okay? Okay, well this is sorry for the announcement. Breakdown system. That's it.
Actually, the announcement is so for the
So Ben and Ben?
ay oo guys, so sa November di ay adto lang mo bayad na mo as and then di mo kasulod basig na ay mali sa instructions 20 pesos na lang.
Okay.
Sure,
Sige.
Okay, question so far for this.
Manetibugging yun.
Instead of A over dx, so we just write it as dx included, sir. Or the derivative.
Like creative.
Let's evaluate your
Sure katama kayo pag-order. Ay, great. Important naman. Kaya pala hindi mag-order ka na, kaya hindi pa. Hindi mo na tayo meron.
Instead of 6 x to the power of 3 and become 6 to the power of 3.
Nag-matter ako.
Pwede na ba din natin? It's up to your preference. You can use any of those as long as the interpretation is taking that derivative of a function.
Yung find symbol, di ba?
Okay, we're done with the product rule. Now let's the Gaussian rule, of course. So are you familiar with the Lodi high minus high D law of
Yes. Lodi high.
So what am I So if we take the derivative of the product quotient of two functions, this is just first take the derivative of your function minus gx times this one minus f times ds over gx. So take note, in this given formula, we need to be particular. So meaning dapat hindi magka-interchange no? This one here should not be interchange of this third here. Okay, mamali yung answer. So first, no? As is ang inyong function sa denominator, then take the derivative of your function sa numerator. Minus, copy the derivative of your numerator, take the derivative of your denominator, divided by the square of your denominator. That's why low D high minus high D low square. So low means yung denominator no? The derivative of your high numerator minus high numerator, take the derivative of your denominator which is your L and L square. Low D high. Again, low D high minus high D low all over low square. Okay. So let's have an example. Okay, suppose this is your function. Your y is given by this, x squared plus x minus 2 divided by x cubed plus 6. Oh my God. So you are to use the difference rule. So this is just y prime. Low D high is the meaning. Write your denominator first. And take the derivative of your numerator. Minus.
I know primary.
Copy your numerator now. And then take the derivative of your denominator. Divided by the square of your denominator. So continue simplifying this even more. So this is just x cubed plus 6. What's the derivative of this? This is just 2x plus 1 plus 0 minus x squared plus x minus 2 times. This is 3x squared plus 0. So sa inyo ha, dapat sa best. That's the perks of being a church. Tapos na, di ba, you need to use what?
Bias na bias.
The sum rule of time differences. Use the first. Same for this case, sum rule lang. Ayan, this is to, parang pwede na dito.
You're double standard.
So this is x cubed plus 6, and then you have 2x plus 1. Then this one minus x squared plus x minus 6 times 3x squared divided by x cubed plus 6.
What's that? Not like a matter.
So next, this is, what is the product of these two binomials? So that is x cubed x to the 4 plus x cubed plus 12x so plus 6. So you can use one now, coin method. This is just minus.
Why is it so cold?
3x to the power of 4.
This is not all. We have negative 3x to the 4 minus 3x cubed plus 6x squared. So divided by x cubed plus 6. So this is equal to. So combine like this. Negative x to the 4. Negative 2x cubed plus 6x squared. Plus 6x plus 12x. My x
Can you insert? Can you spread out the bottom? Can you spread out the French? I'm sure we can.
What a perfect square.
Do you think?
I know. Tama ba na?
Oh, that's the answer.
That's final. That's final. Wala man yapon kayo makansel daw. Okay. Take note of this one.
Oh no. Oh no.
You have this note. Do not use the quotient. Don't use the quotient rule every time you see a quotient. So possible you can rewrite that expression in its equivalent form para mas ka-differential yourself. Okay, kung doon asa sa pala quotient rule. So if there are other way or transformation of expression, why not? So suppose we have this one. So you have rational functions. So if you use this one now by one, quotient rule of course, as long as it's remember. back. So for that one, you can also simplify this one, no? So from single fraction, we can bring it down. Bring it down with two fractions, no? With the same denominator. And then simplify it. This first term here, 3x squared divided by x, so it's just 3x. And this one, 2 squared of x all over x. So you can transform this one to its exponential form, no? X, that is just x raised to 1/2. So this is 3x squared over x plus 2x raised to 1/2 over x, diba? So since the same number is 3x plus 2, so the same number, no, dahil the same basis on the numerator and denominator. So we need to subtract the corresponding exponent. So we have 1/2 minus 1/2. So this is 1 now, so papa mo sa 1. So this is 3x plus 2 raised to x raised to 1/2 by LCD. So with that, we can solve this one now by this given form. I take the derivative of this given form instead of quotient rule. So we have this thing. Wow! But first, let's consider the general power. Kung nakawag tayo na yun, diba? Usually, may positive na kung exponent. So with that, if you have the negative of n, for instance, your exponent, so this is always the same as n. Taking the derivative of x raised to the negative of n, that is just the same as the negative n times x raised to the negative n minus 1. So, equal siya, no? So if you have x raised to the negative 1/2, n is positive. Sana siya yung the negative.
times negative.
The concentration here is n lang, so n is positive. Good. So kaya siya kay positive, integer naman siya kasi meaning negative 4, negative numbers or positive. But also, it can also interpret as this if rational function of y is 1. Okay, what's the derivative of this one now? This is negative 1/2. X raised to negative 1/2 minus 2. And this is negative 1/2 x raised to negative 1 minus 2 now. And that is plus negative 1/2 x raised to negative 3. Same na definition. Replica na siya na result. Even if your n is not positive.
Ibalik mo siya sa
So fractions to n is equal to Okay, so suppose for instance we have this one, no? So yun naman siya. Or, para, diba? Your final answer must be what I negative exponent. That's why this is this answer. So whatever x squared.
So, final answer na siya.
Dapat wala negative exponent.
Dapat naka-fraction siya pag yung
Bawal negative exponent. So, when you simplify that one, dapat positive na exponent. So suppose you have this one. So from here now, don't tell me magamit mo ang quotient rule for this. So much easier if diba? Constant times zeros, no? So it is not dependency and derivative. So that's why by constant multiple rule, magawa sa 6. So meaning you have 1 over t cubed. And 1 over t cubed, that is just the same as t raised to negative 3. And then take the derivative, mas simple na siya, no? Hindi naman mag-load behind inside dito. So, basta mas the same as the last. Depende sa basta kung gitagana mo ko para shortcut na. And basin tayo, mas dali na siya ang kanilang gano'n. Hindi na kayo mag-segment ayos. You have many another way to solve it. So this one here, this is just what? Negative 18 over t to RT. So as long as I find an answer, kaya wala na yung negative exponent. So for general version, wala to, no? Pwede na fractions. So n is any real number. So pwede sa mga paano? Rational is one rational number. So this is just the general version. Okay, let's say you have this given function. So you have the square root of b times a plus b times e. Okay, given that function, ano saan ang first mong gamit?
True power of 1 power of color. T pala T.
Take note, product.
Product rule. So UTB plus.
So using the product rule, of course, we can find the derivative of this function. So, using the product rule, the first copy the first function, take the derivative of the second function, and then plus your second function times the derivative of your first function. Pwede siya commutative, no? Pwede ko niya siya plus this one. Anyway, additional multiplication. Hindi lang matter pero kung mag-subtract ko. So with that one, simplify this first. So derivative of A. So derivative of A with respect to E. That is just 0. How about this one? That is just B, no? 0. So you have square root of T times B na lang. Then how about this one? From radical, you can transform this one to its exponential form. Diba? Square root of T, that's just T raised to 1/2. And then perform no? Power rule, general power raised to 3. Your T raised to 1/2, that is just 1/2. Taking the derivative of this, no? So that's just 1/2 times T raised to 1/2 or negative 1. And this is 1/2 times T raised to negative 7. That's why you have it. And then simplify. This is just square root of B square root of T plus this one. So A plus B taken over 2 square root of T. So next we need to combine these two terms. So by finding the LCD, we have 2 square root of T. So combine this one, this is just A plus B times C. Then as you observe here, may radicals sa yung denominator. So meaning, hindi pa siya simplified or. So we need to rationalize your denominator by multiplying this one by square root of T over square root of T. So for this one, this is just what? That's 3B. Dapat kung may radical is the first method, or the first solution for this one. You can also, from here, you can distribute square root of p to this given terms. So let's do that, no? So you can have this formula. A square of t plus bt squared. So we can take the derivative of this, take the derivative of that. So this is the given answer. So let's just this one. And then, from negative exponent, transform to the positive exponent, and then solve further, and then let's just equivalent to this value here. This one is a squared of a all over two squared of p na. Then combine minus at the. So we'll go back to this answer. Okay, the differentiation rules enable us to find the tangent without having to resort to the definition of the relative. Okay, it enables us to find the normal lines. The normal line to a curve C at point P is the line for P that is perpendicular to the tangent line at P. So this normal line now. Okay, what do you mean perpendicular to the tangent line? Perpendicular? So meaning the slope of that first is equal to the slope of the second, but naka-negative reciprocal. Okay, let's have an example on this one. Find equations of the tangent line and the normal line to the curve. Y is equal to the square root of x all over 1 plus x squared at that point, 1 and 1/2. So again, our goal is to find equations of your tangent line. Okay, according to the quotient rule, so what's the quotient rule? So log behind the side below all over those squared. So we're not one. We have this simplification. And then what's next? From that, we have that solution, and of course, the slope of the line at x is equal to 1. But if x is equal to 1 here, you can find our slope for that. So what is the slope of the tangent line? It is just 1 minus 3 times 1 squared divided by 2 squared of 1 plus times 1 plus 1 squared, quantity squared. And with that, that's just negative quantity. So you use this for now, slope here, and of course this given point. So we have the points to form. This will be the corresponding equation of the tangent line. Or you can simplify this one and you will get this one. Okay, since the slope of the normal line at 1/2 is the negative reciprocal of the negative 1/4, diba? So this is your slope. So normal lines are perpendicular naman siya, so meaning the negative reciprocal of negative 1/4, meaning your m must be 4 for this one. That's why you have this equation for your normal line. Okay? So when we graph that one, this is your tangent and your normal line here, which is perpendicular, diba? Right? Kung perpendicular siya, it's always the negative of your reciprocal of your slope, no? First slope. So far, this is our formulas. So you have the power constant, 0, a constant multiple rule. This one is the product rule, the power rule. This is the sum rule, no? And then this one is the difference, and the quotient rule, and this is the difference rule. Okay, let's have more examples.
Go, Joe!
Yeah!
Acceptance and next please.
Galing, galing. Okay, so your turn. So, dili naman tama nung pa, diba? Retake,
Yes!
Yay! Happy na get zero.
Why are you?
Mga